Welcome back to today's sad reality, or the daily sad reality, something like that. It's funny, this used to be daily, but now it's like not even close to what that used to be. It's been 4 days. I can't believe it's 4 days have passed. But to be fair, I actually had a lot to do within that span of time. Um, Also, yeah, this game's a bit of a meme. But yeah, so I had 2 days off in a row. Today being the last of those days. There was supposed to be 2 days off from work, and then one of my coworkers actually just called out sick. So I'm going to be going to work about 2.5 hours from now. But I figured I would finally go ahead and just tell this story because I think it's interesting, and I feel like the game very much fits this. So here's the sad reality we've all been anticipating, right? So anticipation is this one really funny thing where I feel like it kind of has this amplification effect on whatever's going on in life. Either it makes things scarier than it normally is, it makes it more exciting, it makes it cool, it has this kind of amplifying effects. And to kind of talk about that, I've got two different, very kind of funny examples. So nearly 4 days ago at this point, so I guess 3 days ago, in the morning, my boss sits us all down, all my coworkers, sits down and we have like our morning powwow at the front of the store, and he's talking about what could possibly happen today. So he's like, "Hey, the CEO of our like company, her jet touches down at 10:17 a.m." And we're like, "Oh wow, that's kind of crazy." And so recently we had the corporate visit, which went really, really, really well. At least as far as I know, anyways. For most people, there were a few people that kind of got their fair share of things not going very well. But oh yes, you can just click here and that does nothing. I'm so glad I clicked there. So my boss is kind of like, hey, there's a 50-50 chance she's going to show up to the store, right? Small chance it could happen, big chance we don't really know because there's a chance that non-executive corporate when other corporate came in, so lower corporate if that makes sense. There's a chance that they put in a good word and that she might come visit the store. And my boss has really been waiting to show off our store, the coworkers, everything we've got going on, all the hard work that's gone into this over many, many, many years. And so what this turns into is us being super prepared. We had the store all clean and all that. It took us like we just do normal setup in the morning because he only literally learned about that I think the morning of her jet touching down. Upgrade your browser internet connection's better. I might play this at some point. I don't know, maybe we'll just let the loading screen load and kind of chill here. Time spent, time left, 10 minutes. That'll only be another 10 minutes, right? It'd be funny if the loading screen actually finished before I finish my story, but I know this game takes a really long time to be fair, so I doubt that'll happen. But, so my boss and I, we were both kind of manning the front door. We were just sitting there for, I think it lasts about 4 hours. Like the first hour goes by, nothing. We're kind of just small chatting, small talking, small chatting. That's a word. Small talking, chatting. He's like, "Hey, how's your family? How's your car? How's your sister? How's your college been? All this." And just kind of basic stuff, just to pass the time, but also to keep people in good spirits. Assuming, again, the CEO of the company comes in. He was so prepared. He was like showing people. He's like, "Hey, if you see this person walk through the door," he had like pictures of her pulled up. He's like, "This is the person. Be prepared if it happens." But 1 hour goes by, nothing. 2 hours, still nothing. Three, and we're kind of over at four, and he's like, "Well, I think that 50-50 was not successful." Earlier, he joked that it was a 51-49 for a glass half empty kind of person, and everyone kind of gave him looks, and yeah, so it didn't really happen. He was kind of, I guess, I don't know if that put him down or if he just didn't really. I don't know what he thought, but he did so much work going into this. Like, while we were standing at the door, he was doing detective work. He called up every other store in this state, and he was like, "Hey, do you happen to have any visitors in your store at the moment?" So he was doing like the full shebang, everything he could possibly do to see if the CEO was around. But turns out she didn't show up to a single store, at least to my knowledge. I could be totally wrong about that. But she wasn't at any store. So all that work for nothing, and I'm guessing other stores weren't really caring too much, but all the store managers have their like group chats and stuff that they go through, and even within the company, there's like a Reddit and stuff too, but I don't think any of the store managers use it. As far as I know anyways, maybe some of them do. I haven't really used the Reddit myself much. But to loop all the way back around, this kind of anticipation effect, he was so excited for this, and then it didn't really happen. But the excitement, I think, is what kind of kept that day alive. Like, nothing really happened. For me, it was a very slow day. It was boring. It was tedious. Nothing happened. But simply, I guess the thought of something cool happening made it all the better. It made it go by fast, and that was that. You know? I guess kind of what made my boss's day was simply the fact that that could happen, but it didn't. And then after that, he was like, okay, well, I'm tired. So he bought me an energy drink, he bought himself an energy drink, and then we kind of just did our jobs for the rest of the day. He tasked and everyone else did. But between that, I guess there's one other funny thing I want to mention. So it's a running joke with my boss that he'll think something's going to happen or there's the possibility of it happening, and he prepares so much for it that he doesn't consider the probably facts, but in my opinion, the low chances of those things happening. Because I always have coworkers that come up to me and we're talking as we're going out our day, and they're like, I love when John does this because it's funny to me, but also it sucks because they can't task and get things done because he's in this mood, right? Like, he's prepared for this to happen. And yeah, I guess there's like bit of a catch-22 to it because some people just want to get their work done, other people are excited they don't have to get their work done because other stuff's happening. Who knows? But then the very next day, so I guess this would have been 2 days ago, the anticipation had the opposite effect. So that was National Signing Day, that was Wednesday, which I guess was the 22nd, I think. I think it's 22nd, yesterday's 23rd, yeah, so 22nd. Which means everyone that could possibly ever want a job in retail, which please don't work in retail, it's not worth it. Everyone that wants a job in retail shows up and they're like, hey, if you want an hourly job, hourly salary, any of that, show up and we'll see what we can do. Starting salary is $15 an hour, which isn't too bad, honestly. If you work hard, you'll get bumped up pretty fast. It's not complicated as long as you're just like a living, breathing person that wants to do a good job, you know? But my boss despises this. He does not like interviewing people, or that's a lie. I think he does like interviewing people, but I think it's simply the anticipation, knowing that a lot of bottom of the barrel is going to walk in the door, kind of kills the mood for him. And what I mean by that is, so when you think of retail, you think of people that are kind of bottom of the barrel. What I think, I mean, we get treated like garbage a lot of the time by a lot of the customers, and that's kind of fine. That's the general expectation. Now I get paid decent. I get like $18 an hour for it. So I can't really complain too much, but you don't want those people that are actually bottom of the barrel to be working, I guess. So if society views retail as like, you only get stuck in retail if you're not good at anything else, you as a hiring manager don't want people that are just stuck there. You know, you want people that are trainable, coachable, you can move up and do whatever it takes, you know? So, kind of paradoxical in a sense. You don't want people like that, but that's a lot of the time what you get. Now, that said, the hiring pool, I think, of people that had already applied prior to that day was about 30, which was lower than previous years. So he wasn't thrilled that he was going to have to take, or he had fewer options to choose from. But on top of that, the current people that do kind of work here, there's a lot of people that call out, that don't even call out, they're no show, no call out, whatever. So the current talent, in air quotes is what he would say, is not very good. So it was not a day he was very much looking forward to. But on the other hand, funny enough, he had a lot of people walk in that he'd be on the radio afterwards and he'd be like, yeah, that person was a slam dunk, super charismatic, super charming, whatever. And people like that often kind of scare me for other reasons, not part of the story. But it turned into a really good thing. But he was dreading it, I think, just because the thought of what could have happened with all of it. And yeah, amplifying effect. It's kind of weird, kind of cool. Maybe sometimes, I don't know. And I think it's neat, but also like something to watch out for in some cases too, because in both cases, the anticipated whatever the future was didn't happen. In both cases, well, in one case it was a good thing, the other case was a bad thing, and they had opposite effects. So that's kind of my perspective as someone who's overly analytical with people, I guess. It's funny too, my boss threw me, it was like a foam football thing. He was like, do you fidget any? And I took off the ring on my finger, and I'm like, well, I've got this fidget ring I've had since forever, it feels like. Middle school, high school, I think high school. But I've only really worn it out of respect for the person who gave it to me, even though I don't really use it. And then I told him, I was like, well, if anything, my fidget is just kind of watching other people fidget, and then relaying that back to them, like, oh, hey, your leg is shaking, you are pacing, your fingers are, you're touching things, whatever. That's my fidget, is just overanalyzing stuff. So I think it's interesting. There's a, I remember where I heard this, but the people that are restless, there's sometimes not a lot going on in their head, but the people that aren't doing anything, there's usually a lot going on in their head, which is, I guess, maybe scary or also kind of weird. I don't really know how to describe it, but something to be considerate of, I guess. If someone's not really doing anything, they're not fidgeting, it's like, oh, hey, what actually is going on? Because it can't just be nothing, right? I mean, maybe it is, but who knows? I guess you won't know until you ask. Upgrade the browser. It's upgraded. Wow. Other things I can do that I probably won't touch for the remainder of this video. But then following that, so anticipation, whatever, I was like, oh boy, I get the next 2 days off. Thrilled. I get to make things happen. And that's where I get to today, where I haven't recorded in like 4 days, 3 days, whatever. I feel kind of bad doing that. It's like, well, there's an audience, there's like 5 people that watch these videos, I guess. But what I've always told people too is, I guess friends come first. You don't know how much of the internet is real people, how much isn't. And it would be funny to put stuff on the internet that's not for real people, and even with Google, YouTube, whatever, just siphoning off data, voices, facial recognition, all sorts of other things. I guess I would rather be attentive to my friends than I would be to the algorithm, whatever the case is. I think what it boils down to, though, is literally yesterday I was in VC with the boys, with the homies, for like 12 hours. I was playing Fallout 4, Dead by Daylight. There's this one game on Roblox that's really fun. It's called Block Tales. It's like Earthbound-inspired-esque RPG. Really fun. Highly recommend it. And that's what a lot of my time went to yesterday. And then today was kind of the same. Funny enough, I overslept yesterday, then today I got like 6 hours of sleep. I went to bed at 2 in the morning, got up at like a little before 9, I think. So 6.5 hours maybe. My mathing, the same way this money is mathing, I guess. Point is, I guess that was kind of what happened the past few days, and I was looking forward to this as well, because I'm like, hey, I've got 2 days, I've got time to make things happen, and then I make 0 things happen. I'm not caught up on videos or anything, but I genuinely enjoyed the time too. Like, even if Fallout 4 crashed 8 times because I found a random NPC with a mini nuke launcher and I was still level 3 or whatever. And when I say NPC, I mean raider or whatever. Hostile NPC that likes firing mini nuke at me, screen goes up in flames, and then the game crashed for whatever reason. But also, I watched a speedrun of Fallout 4 as well a few days ago, and that's probably one of the reasons I got back into this. It's kind of crazy. It's 90% like loading screens, but the other 10% is actually like really cool stuff, using like traffic cones to launch yourself through collision and clip out of bounds 8 million times. It's really cool. Not that I'm trying any of these things, but I'm just like, oh hey, I should play that game again, it was fun. And surprisingly too, there are new things I'm seeing now that I hadn't seen back then. New ways of playing the game, stuff like that. Which I was like, maybe I do melee only, maybe I put some challenge onto it, whatever. I'm already playing on hard mode, so there's very easy, normal, hard, one above that, and then survival, I think. Maybe there's another difficulty in there as well. I can't remember. But, I don't know, I'm having fun with it just on like a slightly harder difficulty, nothing too crazy. But, at some point, I think when I do get YouTube up and running, streaming, whatever it is, that's definitely one of the games I'm going to want to do, like a full playthrough of, because I think it's cool. There's so much potential with it, and I think it's just a genuinely good game, like something that I enjoy, something that most people could look at and enjoy. So why not take another spin on it, another personality, another yapper like myself, whatever. So anticipate that, be ready for that. So all that said, thank you so much for watching tonight's Sad Reality. I'm gonna head off to work in 2 hours, and This has been your daily, your very, very daily sad reality. Have a good one, y'all.